So, a word of discretion. This is my personal opinion. I could not find success with this thing in the Great League. Doesn't mean that you can't. Doesn't mean that this team comp was really the best for this. But this will be able to show off the string of failures that I got trying to test out this team a few times. So the logic here is that I am putting Porygon in the lead, hopefully for a lot of these neutral matchups that lock on, and the new Community Day move will be able to do enough damage. If it hits something into a Galarian Stunfisk or a fighter, I do have counters to those, so right into it, let's get into. I do see a Skarmory right away, which isn't the best situation. So here we notice that we both, I lose CMP to be able to get to the Zap Cannon first. Didn't really want to take the bait just in case it landed and would set me really back, but he ends up shielding, and that's also very bad there. At this point, I know that I can't get to a Zap Cannon in time, hoping to get the debuffs instead, and we don't. So bringing in a little Marowak, trying to farm this thing down. As you can see, the PORYGON Z is so squishy, can't take an attack at all, and the damage output back on it isn't very good. Throughout the entire time I've tested this in a few sets, I have yet to land a single Zap Cannon either, so yikes. We do see the Galarian Stunfisk able to land the Bone Club, and bring in our Zoom Roll here to try to see what's in the back. Taking an Earthquake, so not great here, but at this point we are able to farm up some energy and fire off the Ice Beam. Thinking that he would have shielded, but he chooses not to. I was hoping this would be another Rock Slide coming in, but it's a second Earthquake, so really bad there again. And a Zoom Roll comes in, and at this point, that's very much game. So not very able to handle a lot of these meta Pokemon, being Skarmory or Galarian Stunfisk. And honestly loses a lot to the other normals like Vigoroth as well. So we are seeing the Swampert coming in here. So I do believe that Swampert definitely outpaced us with those Hydro Cannons. And again, with how squishy Porygon is, we really can't take this very well. So the unfortunate thing about even if you do use Porygon is that you have to commit shields to it. And unfortunately, it doesn't really have the attack power either to like one-shot really anything. Plus, normal doesn't do super effective to anything, obviously. So it really has a bad matchup here. We are fortunately able to come in here with the Azumarill and about take out the Swampert. I was hoping to catch a Hydro Cannon there, but was unfortunately not able to. We're going straight for the Hydro Beam here, hoping to connect. And man, all these nuke moves I'm going for have just been shielded left and right. So we should be able to survive this and go for the Ice Beam, doing some at least decent neutral damage so that we can come back in with the Alolan Marowak. But at this point, with that Swampert in the back with loaded energy, this isn't a very good position. So we are taking a Hydro Cannon on this Alolan Marowak, so really, really bad. Able to farm down. I do make a mistake here that maybe could have been improved, was that the Skarmory comes in. I thought I could farm down, but unfortunately was not able to. But honestly, even in the back with the Vigoroth, there's no way that Bone Club's been able to take it out, and it would have been able just to sweep the rest of my team. So unfortunately, having to commit to those shields to this Porygon Z is not very effective for late game, just because it sets you back pretty hard. And so eventually we do win some games here, so these aren't just all terrible losses. So this is a good thing here. We were able to do at least some decent damage with that Tri-Attack, coming in with the Marowak, and then farming down the Galvantula before it fires off any charge moves. So that was a really, really good position we put ourselves in. And we were able to draw out the Azumarill, so pretty good there. And I'm going for the Bone Club here, thinking that he was going to go and just finish us off with Hydro Pump. Unfortunately, it's just an Ice Beam. I could have potentially probably just farmed all the way up to a Shadow Ball and either taken the shield, but we were unable to do that. So my play here was to be able to go into Porygon, farm up a little bit, and then attempt to catch a charge move on my own Azumarill. But they switch out into a Galarian Stunfisk, and at this point I'm like, we probably could survive a Rock Slide, right? Yeah, like, that's not too bad. We cannot survive a Rock Slide. Oh my gosh. So, this thing is just so squishy for... And then, well, at least this is the first time we actually get the debuff, and so I'm thinking that I could probably farm this thing down, you know, even if it throws back-to-back Earthquakes with that debuff, we can most likely make it. So I'm hoping to try to farm up a bunch of energy here, and then again I was hoping this would be just a Rock Slide, but it's another Earthquake, so really, really bad. Azumarill comes in, we just need to land one Ice Beam here, and we have 2 loaded up, but of how low health we are, this is also just about game. So man, just the unfortunate thing about the Porygon not really even be able to take something like a Rock Slide at all really just sets us back. Just because, I mean, even with like the new meta being squishier Pokemon like Galvantula, at least it does have some kind of a high attack power, or something like a Shiftry, for instance, or a Haunter, with like a nuke move that can hit fairly quickly, and like a bait as well. Here, the Tri-Attack isn't really great as a bait just because it takes a little bit too long to charge up. So here we are seeing the Mawile, so we're just going to go straight into the Marowak to try to get it out, just because that was a terrible matchup there. In comes the Galarian Stunfisk, so we are just going to go straight for the Bone Clubs to try to wither this thing down. But of course the Fire Spins are doing very negligible damage to this thing, and of course it is going to be able to outpace us. We do get a shield, which is great. That's really what we wanted. So I am bringing back Porygon Z and able to land the Tri-Attack, and surprisingly in certain matchups like this, the Tri-Attack will do at least decent damage. I do get the debuff, which is good. And I'll just attempt to lock on down, but he switches into the Mawile. We bring in a Azumarill, of course. I was hoping this was just going to be a power-up punch, but it ends up being the Iron Head, but it's okay. We only take neutral from that. Ice Beam will only do not very effective, but because of how squishy Shadow Mawile is, we will be able to do some really, really nice damage there. So in comes another Iron Head, so we definitely do have to shield this one up. And farm down. We are loaded up on energy, which is great. The Stunfisk comes in, we farm that down too. And the Shiftry comes in. So trying to fire off, we do connect with the Ice Beam, which is great there. Send off another one, and at this point I think this is the first time here that Porygon is useful and ends up at least being a freaking meat shield. So that's about as much play as I got out of that. And fortunately we did save the shield for that Leaf Blade there, and I'm able to farm down this Shiftry for a game. So that was a win for us, using the Porygon as a sack swap, so at least it has some kind of use there. So here, this is the last game for this set. Porygon Z is matched up with Wigglytuff. It is going to take massive damage from these charms, as you will see, and I'm like, this is real bad. I do just commit to staying in a little bit to be able to at least hit off one Tri-Attack, seeing how much damage it does, and it's okay. It's not bad. We, again, don't really get the debuff, but that's just RNG. So the Swampert comes in. I'm really hoping to land this Shadow Ball. and lag comes in. So we do connect with the shadow ball. It seems like my opponent is lagging pretty hard now looking back on this, and they weren't able to get their charge move off. We do see the hydro cannon, and we're just gonna let this Marowak go and try to bring in the Azumarill and just farm down. At this point, we do farm it down for some energy. He's probably going to bring in Wigglytuff again, and I think the lag was just too great. So Porygon there for those matches, and it's not very good. I can't justify using it. But if you enjoyed the video, drop us a like and subscribe. We definitely post videos pretty frequently. And that's how I feel about that team. See you guys next time. Bye.